morning, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed learning about the seasons this week and you enjoyed the videos that I listed for you to watch. Today, we are going to finish up the week talking about seasons, but we're going to identify the characteristics of a tree in the season. So let's go ahead, as we always do, start with reading together our job. I will identify the characteristics of a tree in the seasons. So before we start reading the season colors, how they change, let's go over some words, some vocabulary words that we're going to see in this book. This one says blooms, they're flowers. Buds, small growths on the stems of trees and other plants that turn into leaves or flowers. Emerald, you'll hear this word emerald in this book, and some of you might know an emerald as a gem, but in the context of this book, when they say emerald, they're talking about a bright green color. Then we'll also hear the word flurries. You may have heard the word flurries on the news whenever there might be snow flurries. This is when snow lightly falls. And then the word ripen, and that means to become ready to pick and eat. Then we have this word shoots. This word can have many meanings, but in the context of this book, when they say shoots, they're referring to the new parts of a plant that are just starting to grow. So when they shoot up from the ground, these are called shoots. They're starting to come up. It's the new parts of the plant. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started and move on to reading our book. So we'll get started, and the book is called The Seasons Colors by Joyce Markovits. I do not own the rights to this book. Let's get started. This book, let's talk about, is this an informational book? Is it a fiction, non-fiction? Do you think this book is going to entertain us, tell a story, or do you think this book might be teaching us something? You're right if you said this book is going to teach us. It is an informational text. In reading, we were talking about informational text. We learned about the flag in reading. So now we're going to learn about the seasons in this book. And one of the things that you'll see in an informational book versus a fiction book like this is that we may have a table of contents. And I know that in class we've talked about a table of contents. In class, in fact, we've written our own books with table of contents. We know that the table of contents gives us what we're going to read about in our text, and it's a faster way, a quicker way of going to a page if we want to learn about something specific within the book. So if we wanted to learn and read about a tree in the 4 seasons, we could go to here. This number, as I can hear you telling me, is that this represents the page number. We could just quickly flip to page 22 to read about the tree in 4 seasons if we wanted to. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The seasons colors. Colors tell a story about each season. Let's see how nature's colors change in spring, summer, fall, and winter. Spring. In spring, rain soaks into the ground. The sun warms the air. The green shoots poke out of the soil. Remember the word shoots? They're the new part of the plant that are coming up from the ground. Tiny pale green leaves grow on branches. Pink buds and blossoms cover trees. Spring colors are all around. Summer, as spring becomes summer, more colors appear. Red flowers fill a garden. A blue butterfly visits the bloom. Wonder why that butterfly is visiting the bloom. Do you have any ideas? In the summer, the sun shines. Light green leaves turn a darker shade. They cover a forest in an emerald blanket. Do you remember the word emerald? Remember we said that it's a darker shade of green? Fall. To welcome fall, the leaves change once again. They become yellow, red, and orange. The leaves swirl all around. Look at these dogs. They're just playing in the leaves. Do you like to play in the leaves in the fall? In fall, pumpkins ripen. Remember the word ripen? Remember we said that ripen means that the pumpkin or the vegetable is ready to be picked. So in fall, pumpkins ripen to a bright orange. Then they are carved for Halloween. How many of you have carved a pumpkin before? I have. Not the greatest, but it's fun. Winter. Soon, days become shorter. A chilly wind blows. Winter arrives with flurries of white snow. Do we remember the word flurries? We said it's light snow coming down. Tiny flakes cover a frozen pond until it's winter white. In a few months, bits of green will tell that spring has come once again. So, we know that there are different seasons, and we know there are different characteristics for the seasons, and we know the different things that happen in the seasons to a tree. So let's move on to what we will be doing for our assignment today. This is a fun activity. I think you'll like it. Well, first we want to talk about, before we move on to me explaining the assignment here, let's go ahead and complete this chart together. So we are talking about a tree in the 4 seasons. So on Wednesday, we talked about the characteristics of the seasons. Now we're talking about the characteristics of trees in a season. So we're going to fill this chart out together so that we can understand what trees look like in these different seasons. So go ahead and get started right here, and we'll start typing away. So you guys would be helping me creating this chart at school, and we were in the classroom, but I'll go ahead and type this up. So what can we say about the spring, about a tree? Not about the season, not that it's raining, not that it might be warm, but we're just talking about the trees in a season. I think I remember it saying that leaves begin to grow on a tree. Oh, look, Ms. Custer did not capitalize it. Leaves begin to grow on a tree. I also think I remember them saying that the flowers on a tree bloom. So flowers on a tree bloom. Remember, the word bloom means that we start to see those flowers open up. Now let's move on to summer. So what does a tree look like in the summer? I think I remember that it said something about the leaves on the tree. Oh, I think they said there are lots of green, emerald, you can use the word emerald, leaves on a tree. So there, a tree is completely full with all its green leaves on the tree. Come down to fall. I know you guys remember about fall. What did they say about a tree in the fall? Oh, I remember them saying they change colors. The leaves on a tree change colors. Do you remember what colors they were? They change to red, yellow, and right, you said orange. Orange. What else do we know about the tree in fall? what happens to those leaves? You're right. The leaves on a tree start to fall to the ground. Very good. You guys are doing so awesome. All right, now the last one we want to talk about is a tree in the winter. What did they see? What did they say? What does a tree in the winter look like? Oh, the leaves on the tree, or let's actually, there are no leaves left on a tree. The tree is bare. Now, we're not talking about bare like the animal bear, because if we said that, that would be B-E-A-R. Bare, B-A-R-E, means that it's kind of naked. The tree's naked. There's nothing on it. Bare, that's what that means. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have talked about those things, let's go ahead and move on to what your job is going to be. Here are the instructions. You're going to take a piece of paper, and it could be construction paper. It could just be a piece of notebook paper. It really is just whatever you have available at home. Okay, you'll take this. Now, these instructions says that you need a big, large piece of paper, so this size is fine. It also says markers, but it doesn't have to be markers. It could be colored pencils. It could be crayons. It's whatever you have at home. Now, it says a pair of scissors. It says color paper and glue. Now, if you don't have these things, you don't have to do the assignment exactly the way this is explaining it to you. You can if you have also the supplies, but Ms. Castillo doesn't have all those supplies. So all you're going to do is you're going to divide your paper into 4 sections. So you'll just simply grab my marker. You're just going to simply divide your paper into 4. And you can just do that by just dividing right in the middle, this way, and then across. Remember, don't forget to write your date. You use materials that you have, and then you'll label each one of those boxes. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I'm going to put my date up here so that I don't forget, 4/17/20. And so it can look just like that if you choose to use another paper. Then you're going to draw your trees and what your trees look like. That is why we just went over what leaves look like, the characteristics of trees in each season. You'll draw your tree, just a tree, just like this picture. You'll draw your tree what it looks like in the spring, summer, fall, and winter. And that will be it. Again, you don't have to do the assignment exactly the way it's explained here. You use the materials that you have at home. If you have any questions on how to complete this assignment, please reach out to me. You can do that through Class Dojo, through email, and also through my office hours. I hope you guys enjoy this activity, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.